G'day, how you going? Ianapolis here, Acrylic Guru from Australia. Welcome to my video today. I'm going to show you how to do quite an awesome sun-coloured lit sky over the ocean. From a high hill, there's some people out there looking at this magnificent nature of colour, okay? And this picture was also supplied by John Towner. There's the size of my canvas, and I'm also going to magically bring some colours up the screen for you, just like that. All right, that way you can write them down if you want to use the same colours. And don't worry if you don't have the same colours. Mix it up, make it your own. Use what colours you have available that are quite close and similar to the colours that I'm using. So I've got a bit of a centre line here to get the sky and the water half done. So get on over here and we'll get right into it. So down on the canvas, I'm just going to use some what I call craft white. It's just a soft-bodied titanium white. It comes in big bottles like this. You get it from your art store. It's soft-bodied, and I like to mix that up with the retarder to slow down the drying time of that paint only, because that's going to allow a surface for me to blend colours on. So I'm going to grab my putter on a brush and mix those two colours together. So we're going to just crisscross it on any old way, get it all over where you want, like so. It's pretty lumpy, bumpy, ridges all through it. I'll go a bit beyond the horizon line for now. I'm going to just paint the whole canvas. I'll try and do this quicker. So I've done my whole canvas. You can do half at a time if you want. You don't have to be the same speed as me. And there we go, we've got that ready to add our colours onto. Now, my camera wasn't on. I've painted Indian yellow. I grabbed Indian yellow, I've put it onto the canvas and brushed it in there and pushed it into that white. Then I grabbed some more Indian yellow, I stamped it on here, and then I pulled it into the painting like so. Sorry about this little hiccup. Now, I want to grab some red gold, slash deep orange if you don't have red gold. I want to grab some of this right up into the corner there, just tinkering right across the top. And then I want some nice little slicing little, see like this, these little bands. This putter on a brush is great for this. I'll do the same over this side. Stamping it on right across the top, come down and tinker in some fingers there like so. Getting it on there. Where are we? I've got that tight band there, so I might get something here. There we go. Give it a go. Now I'm going to wipe that brush again. I want to pull that into the painting with my putter on a brush. Beautiful. Beautiful. Done. Now we'll get over this side. Keeping it straight. See, it gets rid of those. So I'm going to turn the brush now and control that a bit longer. See what I just did there? Now I'm going to grab a little bit of, just a little bit of burnt sienna on my brush down here. Sort of like a pearly brown colour. I've got the stuff in my brush. I haven't washed it or nothing, so it's going to see how it's tainted at a different colour. That's what I want to happen. On the bottom of my horizon line is about here. Okay, so on that, I want to try and get just something like this. Come all the way along, going along, but stepping it up and down, stamping it up and down like so, like that. I'll wipe that onto the side of the canvas, and I want to slightly, let's just see, there we go. That wet paint underneath is still wet with the retarder. That's why this is allowing this to happen. Bang, bang, bang. We're grabbing some of the craft white just on my putter on a brush, just so I can get a nice length of white glare on top of that raw sienna. I'll turn my brush around. Why I put my brush sideways and stamp it on, because I'm able to put it where I want it. I'm able to control where I want it. Now I'm going to wipe that build up of paint off that brush, and now I want to get that glare pushed into the yellow. There we go. Leaving that white glare there. Now I'm ready to do me clouds. For the clouds, I'm using titanium white from the tube. Totally different body of paint compared to that craft paint. So don't use the same stuff. I'm going to use a fan brush, and before I do, I'm going to grab this paint. Okay, I'll grab it on my finger because everyone has a finger. And where I want my sun, which is about here, I want to just, about here, I'm going to stamp it on. Stamping it on and off, on and off, on and off like that. Now you can, if you've got a lot on your finger, just simply wipe it off, go back to your motion again, and then start turning around and getting a white kind of glare here. Now you can always stop, wipe your finger and reload it, and you can grab your blending brush and then start blending the edges. I'm going to a bit more in there now, see there? I want to get it around. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab a smaller blending brush, watch this, and the edges I want to glare out into that yellow colour that it's sitting on. Try and get it uniform, and I'll go the other side. Just so as we've got our nice white glare. Now on the camera it's probably looking very orangey, I mean not orange, it's probably looking very yellow, but it's white. Now I've got to build it up, okay, and we want that a bit more glary. So I've got my finger again, right in the guts of it. Pull it around, stop. Grab your blending brush again. Also grab a cloth so you can wipe the build up off. And just leaving the intense glare there, just softening the edges down again. Okay. Now I'm picking up the titanium white in a fan brush to start building up the clouds that I need in my sky. So this bit of white that we put here, I want to play with that first. I want to get something right across the top of that, just like so. And it can point and fade away into nothing. This yellow sky colour is still pretty wet. I want to get something just here now on this side. Just pull it away like that. We can get something here, very pointy on that side, and it come a little bit fatter. Now I'm putting this titanium white on, but I don't want it to be white. I want it to sort of mix with that yellow, so it's sort of a yellowy white. So I'm getting this brush now and I'm teasing it. See there, I'm just changing the colour now so it's like a yellowy white. That's the colour I want it. And I'm just going to come straight off the painting with it. And probably some, these little things, they add distance in your sky. Like that. See how easy that is? You can do this. And we probably want something nice and crispy right here. Just there maybe. Bringing some of it out here. See how white it is? Mix it into the yellow. There we go. Now we're going to grab more white and we want to start. I'm getting some more white into this glare, so I'm putting it on from that line that I put there, and I'm going to just use this fan brush just to kind of blend it. So this colour here now, the yellowy white stuff, I'm making it a bit brighter just by adding it on with the fan brush and using the fan brush to gently tease it into that area so it's looking really lustful and vibrant. So you're pretty much coming from that line. The yellowy sky colour, like I said, is still wet with retarder. Getting it in there, and you're using this to just squash it in there, blend it in there, rub it in there, see? It's very easy. Coming down to that brownie colour, because that brownie colour is going to act, hopefully it's still wet, I'm not mucking around too much, for our next section of clouds. Grab some more white. Now I want to create the top of clouds here in this brown stuff. So I'm going to get the top there, bang, right across here, bang. And I want to be able to blend this stuff into that, wipe it off on there, blend this down into that brown. Now lo and behold, if the brown did dry on you, which it has done for me, don't fuss too much. You can easily grab some of that brown again. Watch this. Put it where you're going to do your cloud, like about here. Get it in there. There we go. I'm going to have to wash this brush now. Now get that into that brown there, like so. Into there, like so. And I'm going to grab my blending brush, and I want to blend, leaving the top there, but blend me clouds down, and then I'll add the appropriate yumminess to give it dimension and 3D look, okay? So they're going to sort of look like brownish clouds, but they've got the top lit by the sun that's just hovering up there. Push that there, blend the top of it down, leaving the hard top of it brighter. Now I should have done this straight away. I mucked around too much, but that's okay. Blend the bottom of it down. Pick up a bit of that brown again, just to kill a lot of that white. There we go. So you've put your white on, and you can blend it down into that wetter brown. Now down to the bottom, this here has dried on me, quite a warm day, so I'm going to just recoat that with the craft white and the retarder pretty much up to there, up to that beneath there, like that. I need this on there so as we can get our other colours blending, because there's a lot of blending in this one, so if you want to have fun learning how to blend, this is a great tutorial for you. So I'm going to get some more of that raw sienna natural there, raw sienna. And we want to gently come from here, get it across there, like that, like that. We can put some yumminess into those clouds and join it onto this. Just there, pick up some more to about there, which is good. Picking up the red gold now and painting the rest of the bottom in the red gold all across here. Get it on there. Turn your brush on its edge and get it to that raw sienna. There we go. So we've got the orange there. Crisscross it into the corners, get it all in there. There we go. Now pull it across left and right again, just like that. Straighten it out with your brush. Now we're going to get some Indian yellow into there. There is quite a substantial amount in the center of it, so I'm going to just wipe the gold, red gold off that brush. Pick up the Indian yellow on both sides. Maybe get a bit of white into it so you'll see it. There we go. And roughly from the sun, we want this color kind of into here a bit, so when we add our white, you're going to notice it. Probably about, all I'll do is I'll stamp it on there, stamp it on, that's the best way, and then just gently with the tip scoot it into that red gold colour there. Now before my clouds dry, I do want to get some yumminess into those, so I'm just going to grab some titanium white. Down here, that paint that's all still wet, I'll get some of this just joining into that and see this line that I've created? I want to kind of distort that, wipe that off the brush and blend this colour down into there in a moderate cloud-like fashion, just like that, see? Coming along, just destroying that line, you're adding your yumminess, and then the bottom half you're creating the blend of it all into that colour. You can do this. Watch the video a couple of times just so you get a grasp, and practice what I'm showing in this video if you haven't done it before. Then put it into your painting. Pretty simple, isn't it? A lot of brush stroking fun. Now I'm grabbing the Indian yellow with some titanium white. So I want it that bright yellowy colour. And we're going to scallop some gingerly reflections of the sun in the water with the wave wind movement on top of it. So from here they can go about this big, but they've got to try and get closer as you get to the horizon line. Try and follow your sun. Very light out there. We're creating these lines here. So you got this colour that I'm putting on there in the lines, and you got the yellow that we're painting on top of within the lines. And keep playing with it. Just watch what I'm doing here. See, like where I started there, a bit heavy and proud, you sort of sit them down into there. I'm grabbing a flat, picking up that paint so I can get, where are we? Start from about here. Is it going to work? Some sharper lines there, but I'll dry it first. Now grabbing that flat brush and this colour again, so it's pretty much the Indian yellow with some white mixed with it. And this will be able to sit on there now because I've dried it. So I'm just going to get my lines. Now make sure these lines that you put on are controlled quite thin and in cahoots with your horizon line. And make sure you've dried it enough, see, so it's just going to sit on there. This is just putting, you know when you add leaf details to a tree, this is adding detail to your reflection in the water here. And you can always get that orange and put some orange bands in here if there's not enough orange bands. You can grab the red gold on your brush there. And if you feel you need some of the darker bits, let's make sure it's not too dark. It's a little bit too dark, so I'm just softening it down in the yellow there and just on the side here. A bit more red in it. There we go, that's the colour. Get some distinct there. This colour right through it as well. And now obviously just to finish it off is just some pure white. So I've got some white and I've got some, just want to taint it with some Indian yellow. Not too much Indian yellow. And just here and there, not everywhere. I want to get some nice white, well it's going to look white anyway, just hitting on some of these very thin light. Get them straight, like that. And this is just teaching a beginner how you can do better brush strokes with some thought instead of just doing basic stamping on stuff and hoping for the best. You're creating the look with what we're doing here in this tutorial today. I'm looking at it, I'm just seeing where I feel I need bits of darker bits there. Just to sit it down, because sometimes if it's too bright, it just looks floating and wrong. Now I've given this a dry. I'm going to mix up the mist to put just in the front so we can put the silhouette of the foreground in. And I want you to get some of your Indian yellow Now I'm using a little flat brush here, like a miniature blender, and grab some of your red gold, okay? Get that to a value of the 2 and start adding some white, because the white is going to bring it to the colour we want the mist to be. So I want it a bit brighter than that, get more white into it, and I'm just going to keep playing with it until it's the distorted white orangey colour that I want it to be. Now this brush that I'm using, I'm going to wipe it dry, because you don't want much of this in your brush when you're making a mist. Okay, I've wiped it. I'm going to pick up some of this, and I'm going to have a bit of land coming here. So I'll start where I'll just test a bit here. Lightly press it, because we've got white craft paint and retarder under here, and if you press too heavy, oh my goodness, you're going to think, what the hell happened? You're going to go right back to nothing. Practice this if you haven't done it before, so as you don't destroy all your work you're going over. You want light bits, dark bits. Now I haven't got much on my brush here. I'm just going to put a bit here like that. See how far it's gone? If I loaded the brush up, I'll get big thick white bits and I'll be fighting it. So I want that about there. Now I'm just going to load a little bit for here. So I'll start from here, come off from where I want it. I'm twisting the brush as I go, so it's kind of nature-fied looking. Right across the bottom here. And a little bit all the way across here. And this will be set back with our silhouette. The silhouette is what's going to make this pop. At the moment this painting looks a bit vast and empty of something missing. Now we can paint our silhouette on there. Okay, so I'm going to grab some burnt umber for my silhouette, but I don't want it to be burnt umber. I want it to be dark burnt umber. I don't want it to be black and I don't want it to be brown. I've said that so many times in videos. So I'll get the 2 colours there. I'm going to use a filbert and a flat. Okay, I'll just dampen that flat a bit. And now I want to mix this into there to get the silhouetted colour. And we'll get a bit of water in it so it's going to transfer. So, because we're going to have some trees here with the filbert. So we're going to come up here and see that mist we've put there. We just want to come over and caress it. There we go. Keep the top line nice and sharp, and then we'll sort of come off up to the painting there. Keep the top of it nice and sharp. I'll wet the filbert, and now I'm going to pick up the filbert and do the other half. My tape is here. I don't know if you can see the edge of my tape line, it's there. I'm going to have a bit of a gap, and I want to have a tree here, so it's important to keep a couple of windows. You all know what windows are. If you don't, that's where you can see sky through the trees. Come in there and popping around here like so. This is pretty much one tree here, one big tree in the foreground, so to speak. It can be quite solid there, leaving a few little windows in it. And over here we've got some looser stuff coming across here. I like using a filbert to get these canopy tops in, coming right off the painting there, just like that. And then put a bit up here somewhere. Umbrella shapes. Well, not too much like a pattern, no. Get rid of that. Oh, because my canvas is so low, and we want to just like that. Find yourself a liner brush, something you can create some kind of trunkage with, and I'll just ink it up a little bit and just kind of like this, skinnier one there. These trunks, it's important to keep them solid. There we go, all the way down. We've just joined stuff up. Now grab your liner, and if you want to do this, just put in some silhouettes of humans, some people. So we'll put, let's get that nice and little. We want some nice little legs here. Anything for a silhouette. I'm just kind of doing some kind of simple silhouette of maybe a guy or two standing on here. Try and get his head in. Try and get an elbow out there. Some others further away. Just some kind of silhouette of people out there. Probably use a black paint pen for this. So pretty much get the legs there, bit of bulkness for the rump area, come in for the body and the waist, come up to the neck, then give it some shoulders, and then maybe an arm like that, and another one like that, and then a round head. There's a lady there, probably a man here. There we go, got some people there. Now I'll just put a nice tiny signature on this, and then we can whack a frame on it and see how she looks. Be sure to hit my join tab there and become a member of my YouTube channel and get some perks, badges and emojis, shout outs in my live shows whenever I'm doing anything live. Okay. Yeah, that's not too shabby, is it? We've got a sun rising high in the sky. They're way up high, looking down to the beautiful colours of nature. And I know with a bit of practice, you can do it. All right, I had a lot of fun doing this painting. I hope you learnt something along the way. And if you did, be sure to comment below. Check out my new video. And be sure to tell your friends if you like what I'm doing. But if you don't like what I'm doing, you tell everybody. Goodbye, good luck, and good on ya.